Okay, you guys, with this rose-colored skin, I'm going to talk with you guys. Now, mind you, I have been using my turmeric soap, which gives you a little extra color. But let me just talk about the spiritual community for a moment. Because, there's so many people caught up in titles. We're caught up in whether or not somebody's a prophet, a psychic, a witch, a hoodoo priestess, a pagan, a Christian, a prophetess, all these kinds of things. Do they use crystals? All this kind of stuff. And you want that to be the deciding factor as to whether or not you go to them for advice. Because that's what it is. Let's just tell the truth. You guys are seeking advice. And I'm going to tell you this. This I know to be 100% true. I know people who are 10 toes down in their Christianity who go to psychics. Yep. They would be in church and they would be doing all that and they would go see a psychic. Like a person that calls themselves a psychic, like a psychic on the side of the road kind of thing with a little sign. Yep. And I know people who don't claim to be any of that, like a Christian, but they do claim to be a psychic, a witch, or something like that, and go to church. Yep. And I think the problem for me is that I'm just at the point where I don't claim to be anything. I am just what I am. And I recognize that everyone has a gift, and whether you choose to worship a particular deity in association with that gift is totally up to you. The persecution comes because some people want to be able to freely do whatever it is you do. So some people want to be able to freely go to a psychic without being worried about going to hell. And that comes along with the dogma of Christianity, and not in religion in general, that you can't do this and you can't do that. And some people have not read the Bible for themselves. And if they were to read the Bible for themselves, they would not be having these questions about, psychics, crystals, and all that kind of stuff, herbs and all that, frankincense and all that. They wouldn't have those kinds of questions if they were to read the Bible cover to cover. Not just those scriptures that the pastor go over before asking for offering, right? So when people come to me and they're always like, well, what are you? And I was like, well, in the church, they call me a prophet. In the streets, they call me a psychic. Some people call me a medium. Some people call me an intuitive. I've even been called a witch. And I just identify as a clear being, which means I just know a lot of things. I have connections in the spiritual realm with spirits. I see death before it happens. I see people in their transitioning state. I know these things. Have always known these things, even while going to church. And at church, they would actually have you come up and share your gift with people and say it was prophecy because it was from God. But then people get so mixed up and think because the person isn't in a church that their gift isn't from the same said God. If it is from a God. Right? Because that's what you guys are saying. But then you guys got to get into the conversation of, whether or not God is a male or a female, because that tends to be important to you guys. So, but what I've discovered is the people who come to me and seek me out for my services, one, they don't tell other people that they're coming to me because they're afraid to be associated with someone who's not necessarily what they would consider in their religious dogma. Two, they keep coming back. So if you keep coming back because what I tell you is true and my knowledge is accurate, so you keep showing back up, right? So I would caution you to just reconcile within yourself what you're willing to do and go through in order to get to the next level of understanding, because that's what I help you with, is understanding where your life is going and understanding how to move in the energies that are there, right? Now I can tell you these titles that I do associate with: doctor, because I went to school for that, right? Astrologer, herbalist, right? Because numerologist, studying these things for a long time, right? More than most of my life. Those things, yeah, titles I resonate with all the time. The title is not important. The results are. Remember that. Whomever you go to, whatever the title, if you are not seeing the results or getting information that proves to be valuable in your life, don't go back. You don't have to get on the internet bashing someone else because they identify as the same title or whatever the other person was who you didn't think was right or real. Just don't go back. You don't like the videos online from either whatever it is, the Christian person, the person who's, wrap their head up and say, God told them destruction. If you don't want to deal with that, don't watch the video. Watching and engaging is what causes the video to show back up on your feed. That's why I have a lot of psychic mediums on my page, because that's in line with one of the gifts that I operate in. Right? It's your choice.